What if the secret to conquering your endless to-do list isn't about working harder, but about mastering the art of deliberate neglect? We all wrestle with that mountain of tasks, right? Feeling perpetually behind.
Oh, absolutely. It's a universal struggle, I think, keeping pace. And it's a really profound challenge in our, hyper-connected world. Our source material today from productivity maestro Brian Tracy, it confirms what many of us instinctively feel.
Yeah.
There will always be more to do than you can possibly accomplish.
Or ways.
Yeah, Tracy spent, over 30 years studying personal efficiency, and he concluded the solution isn't just adding more hours. It's about fundamentally rethinking how you prioritize, how you work, even how you think about your tasks.
That's a crucial distinction, isn't it? Not just doing more, but doing differently. So today we're taking a deep dive into Tracy's hugely popular book, Eat That Frog. It's like a shortcut, maybe, to understanding how to pinpoint and conquer your biggest tasks, turning that overwhelm into accomplishment.
Exactly. Focused accomplishment.
We're going to unpack his core philosophy, look at some really practical strategies, and find out why focusing on that one ugly frog can be a genuine game changer. For productivity, sure, but also just well-being.
Definitely. Get ready to shift your perspective a bit.
Okay, let's start with the title, Eat That Frog. It's certainly memorable, but what exactly is a frog in this context? How does Tracy define it?
What comes from a Mark Twain quote, apparently.
Yeah.
The idea is if the first thing you do each morning is eat a live frog, well, the rest of your day can only get better, right?
Ah, okay, I can see that.
And Tracy applies this brilliantly. Your frog is your single most important task. It's the one you're most likely to procrastinate on, yeah? But it's also the one that's going to have the greatest positive impact on your life or your results right now.
The biggest impact.
Right. And the first rule, Tracy says, is if you have to eat two frogs, eat the ugliest one first.
Ugliest meaning hardest, most daunting.
Yeah, biggest, hardest, most crucial task. Start there, always.
And the second rule, does he, give us any breathing room after that?
Yeah, hardly. The second rule is if you have to eat a live frog at all, it doesn't pay to sit and look at it for very long.
Just do it.
Exactly. Immediate action. Cultivate the habit of tackling that major task first thing without, overthinking it too much. Effective people, they're action-oriented. They just launch into major tasks and they persist.
Which directly challenges that common tendency, doesn't it? Being busy all day but not really achieving much?
Precisely. Busy versus productive. Big difference.
So it's not just changing behavior, it's also about leveraging our own neurochemistry. You mentioned endorphins.
Yeah, absolutely. Tracy notes that just completing a task, especially a tough one, it triggers endorphins in your brain. It creates this natural high, a positive addiction to success, he calls it.
A positive addiction. I like the sound of that.
Right. So the key is to consciously connect that feeling, that relief and satisfaction, with the act of conquering your frog. The more you experience it, the more your brain basically craves that feeling. It motivates you for the next day.
So it becomes self-reinforcing.
Exactly. A cycle.
Okay, before we dig deeper into the how, I think it's helpful to understand where Tracy's coming from. His own story isn't typical, right? He didn't start with advantages.
No, not at all. It's quite a powerful transformation, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy started with, very little. Worked laboring jobs, even traveled the world on a tramp freighter. 80 countries, I think.
Wow.
And his turning point, it came from this simple but really profound question he asked himself. Why is it that other people are doing better than I am?
That takes some courage to ask.
It does. And then he started asking successful people what they did differently. And crucially, he didn't just listen. He actually did what they advised. He calls this his simple truth. Find out what successful people do the same things until you get the same results.
Just copy them. Well, learn and apply.
Learn and apply, yes. And this principle, it totally transformed his life. From struggling salesman to VP overseeing a multi-country sales force by age 25.
That's incredible. It really backs up his idea that success is predictable.
It does. It's not about being inherently better. It's about using effective methods.
So what part of that journey, that simple truth, does he really emphasize for the rest of us? What's the core lesson?
Well, he realized his own feelings of inferiority, they were unfounded. He wasn't less capable. He was just using different methods, less effective ones. And that revelation, it sparked his lifelong study. The heart and soul of this book, as he puts it, it's the ability to concentrate single-mindedly on your most important task, to do it well, and crucially, to finish it completely.
Single-minded focus and completion.
That, he argues, is the key to success, achievement, respect, status, happiness. All of it. Focused, sustained effort on what truly matters.
Right. Okay, so we get the what and the why. Let's talk about setting the stage. Chapter 1, set the table. It's all about clarity. Why is clarity so vital? Seems obvious, maybe?
It seems obvious, but it's often overlooked. Clarity is perhaps the most important concept in personal productivity. Tracy argues the #1 reason some people get more done faster is simply because they are absolutely clear about their goals and objectives. Crystal clear.
And most people aren't.
Apparently not. He cites research something like only 3% of adults have clear written goals. And those 3%, they accomplish 5 to 10 times as much as people with similar or even better education who don't have written goals.
5 to 10 times, just from writing it down.
Well, from the clarity that writing it down forces. Think on paper, as he says.
Okay, think on paper. I like that. So can you walk us through his formula, the 7 steps for setting and achieving goals?
Sure. It's very practical, very sequential. First, decide exactly what you want. Be totally clear. You know, like Stephen Covey said, make sure your ladder is leaning against the right building before you start climbing.
Good point. Okay, step 1, decide.
Second, write it down. He's adamant about this. A goal not in writing. It's just a wish, a dream.
Got it. Write it down.
Third, set a deadline. This creates urgency, right? A target to aim for. No deadline, no urgency.
Makes sense to life.
Fourth, make a list of every single thing you'll need to do to achieve that goal. Everything. Break it down.
The nitty-gritty. Okay.
Fifth, organize that list into a plan. Not just a list, but a sequence. What comes first? What depends on something else? Prioritize.
Plan the sequence. Right.
Sixth, take action on your plan immediately.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Tracy says, an average plan vigorously executed is far better than a brilliant plan on which nothing is done. Just start.
Start now. Love that.
And seventh, finally, resolve to do something every single day that moves you towards your major goal. Even something small. Build it into your schedule. Daily action.
That's incredibly actionable. 7 clear steps. Decide, write, deadline, list, plan, act, repeat daily.
Exactly. It demystifies the process.
But okay, having that clarity, that plan, that's one thing. Many of us, myself included, we can have a great plan and still, struggle with the doing. What's the next step Tracy suggests for actually making it happen day to day?
Right, that leads straight into the next key idea. Plan every day in advance. Your ability to think, plan, decide, that's your most powerful productivity tool. He quotes Alex McKenzie. Action without planning is the cause of every failure.
Ouch. Strong words.
Yeah. And Tracy introduces this thing called the 10-90 rule. Heard of that?
10-90. No, tell me more.
The first 10% of time you spend planning your tasks, it can save you as much as 90% of the time in actually doing them.
90%. Seriously.
That's the claim. Think about it, avoiding mistakes, having materials ready, knowing the next step. It adds up. He reckons just 10 or 12 minutes planning your day can save up to 2 hours of wasted time later.
2 hours from 10 minutes. That seems almost too good to be true. What stops us doing it?
That's a great question. I think often it feels like more work up front, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or we tell ourselves we're too busy to plan.
Yeah, the irony.
But Tracy suggests it might actually be a kind of fear. Fear of confronting what really needs to be done. We prefer the illusion of busyness sometimes.
Interesting. So what's the practical advice?
Always work from a list. Always. And critically, make tomorrow's list the night before.
The night before. Why then?
Because, he says, your subconscious mind then works on that list overnight. You often wake up with insights, ideas, maybe a better approach.
Let the subconscious do some heavy lifting.
Exactly. And he suggests different lists.
Yeah.
A master list for everything, maybe monthly lists, weekly, and definitely daily lists. Break it down. And the simple act of checking things off, that visual progress, it fuels motivation, gives you that success feeling.
Yeah, I do love checking things off a list. Okay, so plan ahead. Use lists. Now here's where it gets really interesting for me, and probably for anyone with a packed schedule. How do we cut through all the daily noise, all the demands, and actually know which task is the most important? Which is the real frog?
This is crucial. Chapter 3. Apply the 80-20 rule to everything. This is the cornerstone.
The Pareto principle, right?
Exactly. Vladimir Pareto, the economist, it states that generally 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results.
Yeah.
So if you have 10 tasks on your list, chances are 2 of them are worth way more than the other 8 combined.
2 out of 10.
Yeah. And almost always one of those top 2 tasks.
Yeah.
That's your frog. That's the one you need to tackle first. It's about value, not volume.
So it's not about doing everything, just the right things. But the book says most people procrastinate on that vital 20% and get bogged down in the trivial 80%. Why do we do that?
It's just human nature, maybe. We tend to gravitate towards the easy stuff, the low-value tasks. They give us that quick hit of completion, even if it's superficial.
Yeah, clearing emails feels productive, but is it really?
Sometimes, but often not compared to the big project looming. That's the difference between activity and real accomplishment. You can look busy all day, but achieve very little of actual importance if you're stuck in the trivial 80%.
So the valuable tasks are often the hardest.
Usually, yeah, but the payoff is huge. Tracy's advice here is really firm. Adamantly refuse to work on tasks in the bottom 80% while you still have tasks in the top 20% left to be done.
Adamantly refuse.
Wow. And he adds, resist the temptation to clear up small things first. You have to break that habit, deliberately choose the high-value work.
Okay, that's a clear call to action. Beyond 80-20, what other ways does Tracy suggest we identify these crucial frogs?
The next big one is, consider the consequences.
Consequences, okay.
Think like a superior thinker, he says. They accurately predict the consequences of doing something or not doing something. He mentions Dr. Edward Banfield from Harvard, who found that long-time perspective is the single best predictor of upward mobility, socially and economically.
Long-term thinking improves short-term decisions.
Exactly. So ask yourself, if I do this task, what are the potential positive consequences long-term? If they're large, it's probably a frog. And conversely, if I don't do this task, what are the potential negative consequences? If they're significant, it's also likely a frog, maybe an even uglier one.
So it really is about playing the long game, linking today's actions to future outcomes. Future intent influences present actions.
Precisely. Successful people get really good at delaying gratification. Dennis Waitley put it well. Failures do what is tension relieving, while winners do what is goal achieving.
Ooh, tension relieving versus goal achieving. That hits home.
Doesn't it? So this leads Tracy to 3 really powerful questions we should ask ourselves constantly. First, what are my highest value activities? What are your biggest frogs? What makes the biggest contribution?
Okay, highest value activities.
Second, from Peter Drucker, what can I and only I do that, if done well, will make a real difference? Identify your unique contribution.
What only I can do. Right.
And third, maybe the most important daily question, what is the most valuable use of my time right now, right this minute?
That's the core of time management, isn't it? What's the best thing to do now?
Exactly. Answering that honestly keeps you focused.
Wow, those 3 questions, they really cut through the clutter. And like Goethe said, things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least.
So how do we apply this kind of granular prioritization to our actual daily to-do list?
Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. He introduces the ABCDE method.
Yeah.
It's a really practical, powerful technique.
ABCDE. Okay, walk me through it.
You take your list for the day, the one you made the night before.
Right. And you go through each item and assign it a letter before you start anything. Tasks are the really important ones. Serious positive or negative consequences. These are your frogs. You might even have multiple A tasks, so you label them A1, A2, A3 in order of importance. Your A1 is your biggest, ugliest frog.
A1, the main frog. Got it.
B tasks are things you should do. They have mild consequences if you don't. Think of these as tadpoles. Nice, but not critical. And the rule is, never do a B task when an A task is still undone.
No tadpoles before frogs. Okay.
C tasks are things that are nice to do, but have no real consequences if you don't do them at all. Like calling a friend, maybe?
C for casual.
Could be, yeah. Then D tasks are things you can delegate. Get them off your plate entirely if possible.
D for delegate. Makes sense.
And finally, E tasks are things you can eliminate. Things you shouldn't be doing anyway. Maybe habits or tasks that are no longer relevant. Just cross them off.
E for eliminate. I like that one too.
So once you've categorized everything A, B, C, D, E, the discipline is simple but hard. Start immediately on your A1 task.
Your ugliest frog.
And stay with it until it's complete. Don't get distracted by B's or C's. Just focus on that A1. I have to say, just the act of assigning those letters, it creates instant clarity for me.
I can see how that would work. It forces you to make choices up front. Okay, this next one sounds almost rebellious. Practice creative procrastination. We're always told not to procrastinate. This sounds like permission to slack off.
Huh. Not quite. It sounds counterintuitive, but think about it. You simply cannot do everything on your list, right? There aren't enough hours.
Definitely not.
So you have to procrastinate on something. You're already doing it, probably unconsciously. Creative procrastination means making a conscious, deliberate choice about what you're going to put off.
Deliberate procrastination.
Exactly. You deliberately choose to procrastinate on the low-value tasks, the C's, maybe some B's, the small stuff, the tadpoles, so that you free up enough time and mental energy to tackle the big, important frogs first.
So high performers procrastinate too, they just do it strategically.
Precisely. They procrastinate on the right things, the low-value things. Most people procrastinate on their A1 tasks, unfortunately.
Okay, so it's about setting posteriorities, as he calls them, deciding what not to do.
Yes, posteriority. I love that term. What are you going to stop doing, or do later, or do never?
I have to admit, saying no is hard. My to-don't list needs some work. What's Tracy's advice for getting better at saying no, maybe? Gracefully.
Yeah, it's a huge challenge for many people. Tracy puts it bluntly. You can only get your time and your life under control to the degree to which you discontinue lower value activities. You have to cut things out. And one of the most powerful words for time management, it's simply no.
Just no.
Politely, he suggests, but
Yeah.
firmly. Say no to anything that is not a high value use of your time right now. It frees up incredible amounts of mental and physical energy. He tells a story about an avid golfer who, after starting a business and a family, realized his golf game, which he loved, was consuming too much time relative to his bigger goals, his frogs. He had to consciously cut back significantly.
Ouch, making tough choices.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't that golf was bad, but his priority had shifted. It's about consciously deciding what to abandon or postpone, rather than just letting the important stuff slide unconsciously.
Right. Okay, so we've identified the frogs, planned the attack, prioritized with A, B, C, D, E, even decided what not to do. What other quick tips does Tracy offer for keeping that momentum going, getting things done?
Yeah, there are several great supporting principles. For those really huge, overwhelming tasks, the A1 that feels impossible,
Yeah.
he suggests you slice and dice the task. Break it down. Two methods he mentions are the salami slice and the Swiss cheese.
Salami slice, Swiss cheese. Explain.
Okay, salami slice is like, you see the whole task as a big salami. You don't eat it all at once, right? You slice off one thin piece and tackle that, and the next slice. So break the task into linear sequential steps and just do the first one.
Okay, one slice at a time. Makes sense. And Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese is a bit different. You have this big block of tasks, like a block of cheese. You just decide to work on it for a short set amount of time, say 5 or 10 minutes. You punch a hole in the task, maybe you do a little bit here, a little bit there. It doesn't have to be sequential. The goal is just to get started, make it less intimidating, punch enough holes, and eventually the task gets done.
Just poke holes in it until it collapses. I like that.
Yeah, and both methods tap into our psychology. Just committing to 5 or 10 minutes overcomes that initial inertia. And once you start, that compulsion to closure kicks in. Completing even a small part gives you that little endorphin rush, which motivates you to do the next bit.
Using our own brain chemistry against procrastination. Clever.
Jerry, another key one is maximize your personal powers. Energy management is crucial.
Physical and mental energy.
Right, you're simply most productive when you're well-rested and feeling energetic. So identify your peak energy times. Are you sharpest in the morning or maybe late afternoon?
Yeah, I'm definitely a morning person.
So schedule your A1 task, your frog, for your peak time. Don't try to tackle it when you're already drained. And sleep. Getting enough sleep is paramount. He argues that sometimes going home early and getting 10 hours of sleep will result in far more high-quality work the next day than pushing through fatigue ever could.
More sleep, more productivity. Counterintuitive for some, maybe.
Absolutely. Plus the usual suspects, healthy eating, regular exercise. It's a holistic system for sustained energy.
And in today's world, get out of the technological time sinks. This feels more relevant than ever. Why is it so hard to disconnect?
Oh, it's incredibly hard, isn't it? Because the technology is literally designed to be addictive. Constant notifications, emails, messages. Tracy calls the result psychological breathlessness. We feel like we have to respond instantly to everything.
Pathological breathlessness that captures it perfectly.
His advice is stark. The catch: create intentional zones of silence. Turn things off. He tells a story about an executive who was drowning in email. He worked with his assistant to standardize sorting based on the 80-20 rule, which emails were actually important. The result? He saved 23 hours a week.
23 hours?
Yeah.
Just from handling email differently.
Incredible, right? The message is clear. Refuse to be a slave to your devices. If something is truly urgent, someone will find another way to reach you, or they'll email again. Turn off notifications, close email, even for just an hour. Reclaim your focus. The world won't end.
It probably won't. That's powerful advice. Wow, what an incredibly practical and I think really transformative deep dive into Eat That Frog. We've learned that, success isn't about doing more. It's about fundamentally changing how you think and work. Identifying that biggest, ugliest, most impactful frog, using clear goals, planning, rigorous prioritizing like 80-20 and ABCDE, and even creatively procrastinating on the stuff that doesn't matter.
Exactly. And ultimately, this approach, eating your frog, it's more than just managing time. It's an act of self-discipline. It shifts your perception of what you can actually handle. It turns that feeling of being overwhelmed into, well, a strategic advantage.
Strategic advantage, I like that.
Yeah. By consistently tackling your most important tasks, you really do build that positive addiction to success, boost your self-esteem, and ultimately, you gain much greater control over your life and career. And the best part, it's a learnable skill. It becomes automatic with practice and repetition.
So thinking about our listeners, what does this all mean for you listening right now? Maybe take a moment, think about your own to-do list. What is your biggest, ugliest frog? The one staring you down, the one you keep avoiding? And maybe more importantly, what's the very first, tiniest bite you can take right now, like in the next 5 minutes, just to get started?
Yeah, remember Goethe's words. Just begin, and the mind grows heated. Continue, and the task will be completed. That first step is everything.
It really is.
So maybe try just one technique this week. Maybe set clearer goals for just one project using the 7 steps. Or apply the 80-20 rule to tomorrow's task list. Or just practice the ABCDE method once.
Or even just turn off notifications for one focused hour.
Exactly. Small steps, done consistently, they really do lead to extraordinary results over time. It compounds.
Fantastic. And that's our deep dive for today. We can't wait to hear what ugly frog you decide to tackle first. Until next time, keep diving deep.